Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, welcome back to Baseball Hut. I hope you like this video and hit that subscribe button. They're going to talk about the New York Mets here and the offseason. We're going to be hitting free agency very soon. I believe it starts on Monday, which is 5 days or 4 days or whatever after the World Series ended. And there have been some interesting things that have happened on Saturday. Garrett Cole opted out, but it's all likelihood he's going to get opted in by the Yankees. They're going to give him another year on his contract. Cody Bellinger opted into his contract with the Cubs. So that was an option for a lot of teams, including the Mets, to sign somewhere else. But he stayed with the Cubs. But MLB Insider has made a prediction for the Mets. And this is from SI.com. And it says this: Insider predicts Mets to sign 3 free agents. Insider predicts that the Mets will primarily focus on improving their pitching. Can't win without good pitching. The Mets have really good pitching this year with Luis Severino, Sean Manaea, and Jose Quintana, David Peterson. And they were able to get to the postseason. They were able to get to the NLCS. They were able to get at least 2 wins against the world champion Dodgers. Unfortunately, the Mets did not get past them. But now we're here, ready to go. But here we go with the article. If an evaluation season, quote-unquote, took them all the way to the NLCS, New York Mets are in the perfect position to build a championship-caliber team. There are numerous routes for owner Steve Cohen and president of baseball operations David Stearns to take, as a massive chunk of money is coming off the books. Most notably, the contracts of Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, and James McCann. I also mentioned Omar Narvaez was on that. This allows the Mets to make some serious noise in free agency and offer record-setting deals. New York can aim to further improve the deadly lineup led by Francisco Lindor and the emerging star Mark Vientos, or stabilize the starting rotation that is in a state of flux. I will also mention, I would not be surprised if the Mets will look to deal Starlin Martes on the last year of his contract. Maybe possibly part of that money and just getting him out of here. Because the Mets do have some young players that they can play in the outfield that are getting close to be ready. And Jeff McNeil has 2 years left on his deal. But the money's not too crazy. I could see the Mets possibly eating that money as well. So there could be plenty more money coming off the payroll next year. That decision, the article goes, is yet to be made. But former MLB general manager Jim Bowden predicts that the Mets will ultimately focus on the rotation by signing a pair of aces. He also expects the Mets to bring back arguably the face of the franchise, maintaining the lineup's production. Quote, the Mets chose to focus on starting pitching in free agency and managed to sign both Corbin Burnes and Max Fried to long-term contracts while also bringing back first baseman Pete Alonso, dropping more than $500 million in future salary commitments to land the trio. Bowden wrote in his article on The Athletic. Burnes, who spent the 2024 season with the Baltimore Orioles, is projected by Spotrac to receive a 6-year, $180.8 million contract, which will give him an AAV of $30.1 million. The 30-year-old right-hander logged an ERA below 3.0 in 5 of his 7 seasons, including a 2.92 mark last season. He additionally won the Cy Young Award in 2021. Bringing in Burnes would give the Mets a true ace, something that they lacked in 2024 despite Sean Manaea's second-half heroics. Max Fried, who's 30, has spent his entire career with the arch-rival Atlanta Braves and has been a fixture in their starting rotation since 2019. Over that span, the southpaw has a 3.06 ERA while averaging 8.7 Ks per 9 innings and a 2.34 walks per 9 innings. He is currently projected for a 6-year, $136.3 million contract and $22.7 million AAV. What makes signing him attractive for the Mets is that not only would it improve their team, but also just drastically weaken the team that has been a thorn in their side for years. Finally, the soon-to-be 30-year-old Alonso has given the Mets everything they could have wanted over his tenure. The slugger has hit 226 home runs since his debut in 2019 and boasts a 249, 339, 514 slash line and 131 WRC+. Alonso has hit no fewer than 34 homers in a full season, while playing no fewer than 152 games. Even the short 2020 season, played in 57 of 60 and had 16 home runs. Sport Track projects a 6-year, $174 million contract for the Polar Bear, who may go down as the best power hitter in team history if he stays. Well, we will see. We will see on that last thing. The only real downside of Bound's predictions for the Mets is that they would fail to sign out for the Juan Soto. He was predicted to stay with the crosstown rival Yankees on a $622 million contract. Years were not specified. Nonetheless, an offseason like this would make the Mets instant World Series contenders, one of the most feared lineups in the game, and a devastating 1-2 punch at the top of the rotation. Well, we'll mention about this offense a little bit. Now, they brought in the two pitchers. Even with Pete, they could use another hitter in this lineup. I feel like they could use one more hitter. Because in June and July and parts of August, the Mets had an elite DH in J.D. Martinez. And Martinez faded out, burned out. I mean, a lot of it had to do with age and who knows, maybe the back. But he sort of faded. Now, Vientos has taken a step forward, but I don't want to put all that pressure, in my opinion, to put all that pressure on him to be what he's been. Let him do what he did. Let's see if he can do it again. I have great confidence in him. I know you do too. But I'd like to see him do it again. I want to make sure that he's not a one-year wonder. But the Mets could use another hitter. That's the one thing I do believe in. Either through a trade, they need a little bit of something there. And do you want to go another year with Starling Marte in right field? I don't want to do that. I know I don't want to do that. I don't know about you folks, but he is declining, and you see it. I mean, he had a lot of big hits. He did not have a good end of the postseason. His Game 7 was lousy. I mean, his Game 6 was lousy against the Dodgers. But that's how I feel. And like I said about Jeff McNeil, you moved Jeff. The Mets played rather well when Jeff wasn't here in September. And the Mets have a lot of young players that need to play. Ronnie Mauricio, Luis Angel Acuna, Jet Williams on the horizon. I don't want to hold them back by having a veteran there. It might not be in the long-term plans for this team. And we have Drew Gilbert that could go into right field. He's got a great arm. He does everything well. He's probably going to be a right fielder in the future. So, to me, and the Mets have some other holes in center field, and there's some things that this team needs to work on in terms of them defensively and offensively that need to sort of be worked out. But that's how I feel. Certainly, these two pitchers would really fill a great need, but you need more. So, you need more reinforcements. So, you let me know what you think about these predictions that the Mets will sign Max Fried, re-sign Pete Alonso, and bring in Corbin Burns, Mr. Burns. Bring him in. Hopefully, he won't get too upset about the negotiations with him and David Stearns. But I would mention that David Stearns did not negotiate. Wasn't in the room when they did the negotiation with the arbiter a couple years back when Corbin was all got his tail feathers all ruffled. But we'll see. I think I think of all the players that are a pitcher, that's not a Met, not going to get re-signed, he's the guy that's most likely to be with the Mets. I think it's a pretty good fit because Stearns knows him. I think he'd want to be part of this team. I think most players want to be here. I think just to see how fun the Mets were last year. A lot of good stuff going on here. So thank you for watching this video. Of course, hit that subscribe button before you go. Don't forget about that. Very important. For more videos on the Mets, more videos on Pete Alonso, Corbin Burns, Max Fried. Smash the subscribe button. The channel's been doing excellent the last few days, and we're gonna have a big off season, God willing. I want to thank you all for coming by, and I'll see you later.